Hi, Les Ingolstead here with Universal Interiors. I am so glad that you're joining us today. I've got my friend Eileen Hanson with me again today, and I'm just so thrilled because I think you're all going to get to know her quite well. We are going to be able to talk a little bit more about this. Please let the audience know what's happening in the month of November and December.
Well, they have exhibit space in their meeting room where I can hang anything I want for the whole month of November and December.
And how did you find out about that in the Trevor Library? I mean, how would...
I guess I'm a longtime library patron.
Okay.
And I just happened to see that there were different artists displayed in there, and you'd have their artist statement, and
this has been kind of building up now.
Right.
Please let them know what's been going on with you in the last season or two to get to this point.
Well, I've always wanted to apply for an artist grant, and I've had some encouragement in the past from my good friend Nita Velo.
Okay.
And I finally, this year, I just decided to do it.
Okay.
But I had to come up with a project, and I thought that exhibiting my work in a space like the library would be a comfort zone for me.
Yes, it makes sense.
It's like going home, and
Nice.
and I'm new to the DL area.
Right.
We've lived in Pelican Rapids for a number of years, and now we live north of DL. And I'd like to get to know the community better.
Great community, and this is going to be so. I'm just so excited for y'all to just get a chance to know this. And I know that you had to write a grant out.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. I called the Arts Council for Lakes Area Arts Council in Fergus Falls.
Oh, okay.
And I found that they have a 9-county area, so it's a big area.
It is.
And they were so helpful to me. The staff at the Arts Council and at Springboard for the Arts, which is right next to it in Fergus.
Okay.
They were so helpful and encouraging,
that's so
and
nice. As well they should. I mean, they see that. Did you bring in some artwork to let them know? Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's something that anyone out there that has a little drive in a way, and we mentioned that you have, I mean, just patiently waiting for all this to step up and it happen, and then you went and you're, like you were saying about the great people there in Fergus Falls, you had to write yourself a grant.
Right.
And then
I guess the first grant, I didn't rank high enough to get the funding.
Okay.
But that made me eligible to qualify for this Quick Start grant, which is going to enable me to get prints made for this library exhibit, and they'll probably be on a larger scale.
And you're talking, this is your photography.
Right, of my photography.
Because Eileen has all sorts of aspects to her art world.
Right.
And so that's why I wanted to make sure that, this will not be modern necessarily.
Maybe a little more contemporary,
Okay.
somewhat abstract, I guess.
Would you mind grabbing one of these too? And let us look at that a little bit.
I love metal, old metal with different layers of paint and wear and use. I love metal. And I love to just crawl around and look for the right light and right colors. So I just find old implements these are old
beautiful
trailers.
Colors. Old trailers, neat.
Yeah, and
now these we're going to make bigger. That's right. That's what's part of this.
And I'm also something that I've just been working on and had in the back of my mind for years is colored glass. I love colored glass and the different layers and how you can see the front, the middle, and the back all at once, and how it affects the piece next to it, and
you'll incorporate that into a photo.
Yep. Yep.
And then we can make that. That's part of the grant, and then you can make that into a print.
Right.
And then now we can put it up on our wall.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, in the library showing, will you have most of that kind of work, or are you going to bring in some of these other things in there right now?
If it works out, I may include some of the older works. I'm kind of making up this exhibit as I go along.
Because it's your freedom.
Right. It is. I
but
can
you
do.
enjoy this so much, and I just absolutely know
this right now is really my passion.
That are going to be very excited to see that.
I was in a bad car accident. I guess.
And that was how many years ago?
Actually, it was 9 years ago,
Okay.
but it has affected me in the amount of time I can spend during doing certain
She broke
projects.
her neck. It was just to have life here on earth that we were really very.
I was so
many
fortunate.
prayers and
yes. Yep.
that we
I
get our
crawled
Eileen
away with
still
only
here.
a broken neck, so I'm here, and I
Still able to use all that God-given
right.
creative
And the camera to me has been just this
freedom almost.
driving force. There was a point where I didn't have a camera, so I borrowed a friend's trail cam and stuck it on top of my head, took a few shots, and then. Well, actually, I held it out in front of me, took a few shots, and then downloaded them onto the computer and realized that I have to be like a tree. And so I put it on my head and stood very still and got some kind of cool shots that to me, everything has a whisper of a muse. So it may not be a photograph that someone is going to want to put on their wall or in their magazine, but to me, it inspires me to want to paint or sculpt or do something or write.
Right, because that's a part of an artist. There's just so many layers in there.
Right, right.
You know, we all have a touch of something that we can do creative, but then there's some of us that have a whole lot of it. Whole lot of it, that's for sure. I think if you move just a little bit, Eileen, we could show there is a birdhouse back there. Miss Reno might be able to capture that. Is something that you created.
Yes.
It's got a copper top.
Yes.
I think, and you did some work on that.
Yeah, tooled copper.
Yep.
I worked for a production pottery for about 4 years in New London, Minnesota, and Banner Oak Pottery. Yeah, and so that influenced the things that I create and created
that's the
them
thing
too.
about being patient as an artist, and I'll just put me in there, even though I don't have that kind of gift. But just wait and see what God has allowed us to go through in our life, because if we do, we'll see how it all comes, and eventually we get to use some of that.
I can see.
And I mean,
every
I know
point
that
in my life
you and I
where
have shared so many. I mean, we've both had majors and accidents. We both have precious families that we love and patiently get through, and they help us, and we help them. And that in itself is creating and helping you to become taking the photos or drawing that picture and bringing that all alive.
Right.
And so we can go out there and purchase.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping to bring you to the library to look at Eileen's work.
Oh, that
it will be again November and December.
Right.
In the Detroit Lakes Library.
Yes.
I am so happy to have my beautiful old friend of mine.
Oh, thank
here.
you
And
so
perhaps
much,
we'll do this
Les.
again.
I'm
There's a
so
lot
thankful to have
share.
this opportunity
Good.
to share my excitement.
Thanks again for tuning in. You guys have a beautiful day.